1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The new Cabinet of Ministers sworn in before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Travel ban on former Central Bank Governor has been further extended. The Ministry of Fisheries says that there is sufficient stocks of fuel for fisheries activities. The Consumer Affairs Authority has paid attention on the local and imported milk powder traders who are selling milk powder without an external coverage. Finance Minister says that the IMF won't solve all economic problems. In foreign news, trucks stuck at Poland-Belarus border as EU sanctions deadline passes. Now the news in detail. The new Cabinet of Ministers are currently being sworn in before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the President's house in Colombo. Accordingly, the President has appointed a 17-member new cabinet. The full list of new ministers are Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government; Douglas Devananda, Minister of Fisheries; Dr. Ramesh Patrana, Minister of Education and Plantation Industries; Prasanna Ranatunga, Minister of Public Security and Tourism; Dilum Amunugama, Minister of Transport and Industries; Kanaka Herath, Minister of Highways; Vidura Vikramanayaka, Minister of Labour; Janaka Wakkumbara, Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation; Shehan Semasinghe, Minister of Trade and Samurdhi Development; Mohan Priyadarshana De Silva, Minister of Water Supplies; Wimalavira Disanayaka, Minister of Wildlife and Forest Conservation; Kanchana Wijesekara, Minister of Power and Energy; Thenuka Vidanagamage, Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs; Dr. Nalaka Godaheva, Minister of Mass Media; Professor Channa Jayasumana, Minister of Health; Nazir Ahmed, Minister of Environment; Pramita Bandara Tennakon, Minister of Ports and Shipping. The Colombo Chief Magistrates Court today further extended its order preventing former Central Bank Governor Ajit Nimad Cabral from leaving the country until May 2nd. On April 7th, the court had issued notices directing Cabral to appear in court today. However, Cabral was not present in court, but he was represented by Senior Counsel Jeevantha Jayathilaka. The Minister of Fisheries says that there is sufficient stocks of fuel for fisheries activities. Necessary advice has been given to all fisher harbours to provide fuel without any limitation to the multi-boat. The ministry also reiterated that the present fuel shortage in the country has not affected much to fisheries industry. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Consumer Affairs Authority has paid attention on the local and imported milk powder traders who are selling milk powder without an external coverage. Any information in this regard can be made to the number 1977 against such traders. Although the milk powder price has increased, the stocks of milk powder have not reached the market under the new prices. The authority also said that several businessmen have been apprehended due to hiding of stocks of cement, gas and fuel during the past period. The police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thaldua said that the law of a country has been created to manage the public activities. The daily routes of the public that build through the principles of the Constitution and the executive will be managed. The law of the country has rendered a great service to maintain the discipline of the people. And that ends local news for now. And we move on to the main news story. As the government delegation is ready to meet the International Monetary Fund, officials today in Washington for program support and other bilateral partners for bridge financing, the government is aware that the package from the fund is not going to solve all the economic ills that have been plaguing the economy for decades. The new Finance Minister Ali Sabri said they are beginning to having talks with the IMF today, 18th, and are looking for around $4 billion from the fund. And that was our main news story. Moving on to Watchlight, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says that it hopes to control the island-wide fuel shortage to some extent within today. The CPC chairman Sumit Vijayasinghe said that the shortage of fuel was due to the insufficient number of tankers arriving for transporting fuel due to the Sinhala and Tamil New Year holidays. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says that about 450 tankers are transporting fuel daily and less than 300 tankers had contributed to the transport of fuel yesterday. That was Watchlight, and up next is the World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
No matter what anyone says, for your lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
The headlines: trucks stuck at Poland-Belarus border as EU sanctions deadline passes. North Korea tests new weapon to improve tactical nukes. Rwanda asylum critics have no solution, says Patel. World News in detail. A huge queue of trucks has formed on the Poland-Belarus border as Russia and Belarusian drivers try to leave the EU following a sanctions deadline. In the run-up to the Saturday deadline, the line extended to 80 kilometers, with some stuck for about 33 hours. The EU has banned lorries from Russia and Belarus, except those carrying medicine, mail or petroleum products, from entering or staying in the bloc. The move is part of sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. North Korea says it has successfully tested a new weapon which it says will significantly enhance its tactical nuclear capabilities. Photos show the country's leader Kim Jong-un smiling and clapping as he watches the new missile launch. Experts believe this is a sign that North Korea is planning to test a compact nuclear weapon soon, in other words, a tactical nuclear weapon. North Korea stopped nuclear testing in 2017. The following year, it blew up tunnels at Pangae-ee nuclear testing site in a move that was seen to be part of a diplomatic rapprochement with South Korea and the US. Home Secretary Priti Patel has hit back at critics of the government's plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda, saying they have failed to offer solutions. Writing in the Times with the Rwanda foreign minister, she said they had proposed an innovative answer to the deadly trade of people smuggling. No humanitarian nation could allow that suffering to continue, they said. It comes after Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, said there were serious ethical questions about the plan. Back to the headlines of the World News. Trucks stuck at Poland-Belarus border as EU sanctions deadline passes. North Korea tests new weapon to improve tactical nukes. Rwanda asylum critics have no solution, says Patel. And that ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
For your wheel lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by... Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
In development news, Valipatanvilla Ussangoda area in Ambalanthuta, which are of historical value, will be developed. It includes 2,000 acres situated nearly at the coastal belt. Majority of the people have paid attention on the natural forest network surrounding, and that was development news.
Development News was brought to you by... The coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
The 2022 IPL has almost reached the halfway stage, and there are some clear trends emerging. Retained players are performing below par, uncapped Indians are doing very well, bowling in the death overs is a struggle, and teams are reluctant to bat first after winning the toss. Chelsea may have a new name above the door at Stamford Bridge in the coming weeks, but some things never change, and they delivered the evidence once more by beating Crystal Palace to reach their third successive FA Cup final. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Several licensed commercial banks in Sri Lanka have declared their selling rate of the US dollar at 340 rupees today. In the wake of the central bank decision to float the currency, the buying and selling rate of the US dollar have been fluctuating daily. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
In economic news, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has decided to release a booklet, a guide to payment services in Sri Lanka, illustrating the payment instruments, methods and the infrastructure in Sri Lanka. The booklet was presented to Central Bank of Sri Lanka Governor Dr. P. Nandalal Veerasinghe by the Assistant Governor D. Kumaratunga recently. The payment industry in Sri Lanka is currently undergoing a rapid change due to the introduction of new payment instruments, methods and processes. And that was economic news, and we move on to the weather report now. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central, Uva, North Central and Eastern provinces during the evening or at night. Several spells of showers may occur in the Western province and in the Galle, Matra and Putlam districts. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The new cabinet of ministers sworn in before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Travel ban on former central bank governor has been further extended. The Minister of Fisheries says that there is sufficient stocks of fuel for fisheries activities. The Consumer Affairs Authority has paid attention on the local and imported milk powder traders who are selling milk powder without an external coverage. The Finance Minister says that the IMF won't solve all economic problems. In foreign news, trucks stuck at Poland-Belarus border as EU sanctions deadline passes. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.